Hey guys, how's it going? And we're here with my very first gear review, and we're going over a pair of gloves. But first, I want to go over why I'm doing a gear review and why I feel my opinion matters. It doesn't, but that's okay. So, basically, a little background on myself. I work in a freezer food warehouse, and we got two freezers at 0 degrees or below year round, and then I have a refrigerator at 32 to 36 degrees year round. So obviously gear is super important. I'm always trying to find the best gear, warm gear, blah blah blah. My work does supply me with gear, but sometimes it just didn't really work for me, and that happens a lot. It's an opinion, and just like this video, I may think these gloves are great, but you may not, and that's just how it is. Different things work for different people, and that's just life. So yeah, we got us. I got myself a little grading system. I'll go over the categories, and then we'll go over an overall review of the glove at the end. And yeah, that'll be that. So the categories are durability, the fit, the effectiveness or the warmth, what I believe are the best temp ranges, the dexterity, the cost, which you can already see that, and then we'll go over my honest opinion. So, uh, durability, we'll slide this one over and slide this bad boy in. Durability is obviously very important because you want to make sure you're getting, the most bang for your buck. And after you grab these for the first time, you're going to think, wow, these are really soft, because that's what I did. And then my second thought was, wow, these are going to rip super, super fast because of how soft they are. They're very, very, like, I don't know, they feel like they would catch very well and easily. So, obviously, you can see these are beat all to hell. This one's got some lining popping through, some lining popping through. I got a hole. We got some fray. And there's actually a little hole right there too. You got some weird little stretching going on here, and we'll explain that. The cuff is stretched. It's just fat and floppy, fat and floppy. So, to my surprise though, this actually took some time to get to look like this. I've had this glove for probably about 2 months, 2.5 months or so, and I've put them through absolute hell. I don't have the other one because I left it at work, along with my categories. I also left that at work too, so I had to rewrite it when I came home. Anyways, so as you can see, these little this little stretch mark kind of business and kind of burnt. It looks almost like it's burnt because it kind of is. That's from hand wrapping pallets. I had about 2 weeks of hand wrapping a lot of pallets, and I used these gloves pretty much the entire time. And to my surprise, they held up pretty well. These holes popped up later. This one came in first. This one actually just came in like a couple days ago. I don't even know when this one popped in. But surprisingly, they held up pretty well. I kind of expected that much, but they held up fine. This one came from a divider or a plastic slat. As I was pulling it out, it caught my glove and ripped a little hole and pulled the threads out. And that's that's going to happen. It's cloth gloves, but they held up way better than I anticipated. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. We'll slide into the fit category next. Okay, so the fit category is how well they fit. Now, this is going to be very much an opinion because my hands are probably not the same as everybody else's hands, I wouldn't imagine. So whenever I put these on first, they are very tight. They're kind of hard to get your fingers into the tips. They catch and blah, 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 all this and that. Now, the benefit and why I'm not going to knock it too much for this is how fast it breaks in. These gloves break in very fast. They're soft. They're stretchy, very stretchy. And that'll help with the breaking in process. And it does. It probably took me maybe a week to break these in. I think maybe not even that. Honestly, they break in so fast. The problem with it being tight, though, is, uh, circulation brings warm blood to your entire body. So if you're cutting off circulation, you're not getting warm blood to your fingers, which means your fingers are going to get cold. So there was a couple of really cold mornings where I could not feel my fingers, and I had to really tough it out and break them in to get past that point. And now, obviously they're not as warm as they once were because they lost a lot of their volume and their fluffiness and all that. But they're still warm enough for me. So, and that slides right into the effectiveness or the warmth of them. Once you get past the broken stage and they're not all ripped up and floppy like this one, boop, 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 they're actually super warm for me. Are they, a 0 degree glove? Probably not. A lot of mornings, or a lot of times, my hands will get really, really, really cold, and I tough it out because of the next category, dexterity. I've got to have dexterity. I need to be able to write. I need to be able to, do things with my fingers. I need to be able to move my fingers and do things like that. So, the cost of, losing a little bit of warmth to having the dexterity to write and actually be able to move my fingers is huge. But with the way that what these are made out of, they hold heat very well. I don't know if it's the thermal part or what, or the knitting. They do hold heat very well. So say you come into work and your gloves are actually cold to start out with, or like you left them in the freezer, which I may have done already. It is the worst feeling in the world putting on cold gloves. So if you just walk over to like a heater or a heat gun or like a hot exhaust pipe off a motor, which, I may do, just grab a hold of it or, put your hands in front of it, whatever. The heat will seep through very quickly, and they will warm your hands up very fast. It'll hold the heat probably for about 5 minutes. So that's a very good benefit. There's a lot of benefits to the little bit of cons with these gloves for me. The best temp ranges, I do not think they're best at 0 for a normal person. I'm going to try and, be a little more normal. But for me at 0, these work pretty well. It takes about 2 hours for my hands to get cold in these at 0 degrees, maybe -1 or so. So for me, they're a pretty good glove at 0 degrees. I would say the best temp range for them for a normal person would be around 32 to 34 degrees. And I would say that's probably a good fit for them. But with that dexterity, it's super, super important. You can put earbuds in with these. It's a little harder, but you can do it. You can write perfectly fine. You can, mess with clips, paper clips. You can flip pages. Kind of. It's still kind of hard, but you can turn pages that are stapled together. You can do that, and all that kind of stuff. It's super, super, super awesome. So the cost, boy, I wonder what they cost. These cost $5 at Dollar General. I have no idea if you can get them anywhere else, probably. Again, I also don't even know if this is even the right company. I would imagine it has a little R next to it. So I think that's the company. It doesn't say it anywhere. But I found these at 2 different Dollar Generals. And I've got 5 of them in my town. Literally 5 of them. And I found them at 2 of them. And I haven't checked the other ones. So I'm sure they have them. So, the availability should be there. The cost, they're super cheap. So, and I'm all about that. I like budget gloves. I don't think you need to pay, $20 for a pair of gloves just to keep your hands warm. And a lot of times they won't. Or you can't move your freaking hands. That's to me pointless. So, my honest opinion on the glove overall, and I will rate this out of 10. For me, 1 out of 10, it's an 8. It's an easy 8. It's a little cold, but the dexterity helps. For a normal person, I'm going to put them at a 6.5 because they're not quite warm enough, I don't think, for a normal person's hand. That's just that's my opinion, trying to relate to maybe a normal person's hand. I don't think, if I put my girlfriend in the freezer with these, I don't think she's going to last very long. But for me, I can sit in there for 2-3 hours and be fine. So in my honest opinion, they're a good glove, depending on the situation you put them in. They do clean up well. I know this one looks not clean because, well, it's not. They do clean up decent. There's even instructions on the back. Gotta flip the glove around. They're 50% acrylic, 50% polyester, machine wash. Don't iron them because apparently people are ironing their gloves. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know what would possess you to iron this, but don't do it. Just don't do it. Fight the demons. So yeah, that's my review. If there's any categories that you think that should be added to these videos that maybe would help you get a better idea of the glove and what it's about, and stuff like that, definitely let me know down in the comments, and let me know how this actually went. If you feel confident that if you wanted to buy these gloves, I gave you the information or the opinion that swayed you to go get them. I would like to know that. That'd be awesome. I won't just do gloves, but gloves are easy. They're cheap. I can pretty much get gloves anywhere. I will do hats. Hats would be cool. I will do socks, maybe boots. Maybe down the road. Boots are expensive. Maybe not coats necessarily. Maybe long sleeve shirts. I mean, I'm always doing shirts or wearing shirts and stuff. Long sleeve shirts and things like that. Maybe I can get into some of that too. So it's not just gloves, but I want to do gear that, with winter coming up, cold season, people want to know, maybe what's best to buy, and maybe I can give you that information. So just let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.